top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Jovan live for you sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. Jovan Burts with us, Brian Bitler, James Clark signing momentarily, and Jay Briggs. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Briggs, Burts, Bitler, Clark, then I will close this one out. All right, good afternoon to everybody in the chat room. Join us here on the show. We got a bit of everything, right? NBA, NHL, college football begins here in just about 20 minutes. Also on the board here as is the NBA 6-game card. A lot of NBA on the show today. We've got some marquee matchups tonight here from College Hoops here for you on the show. Let's get this one underway. Let's go and welcome in Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring in Jay right now. Jay's a busy man over on the channel, as you'll find his NFL show here up on the channel. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
Great. All right, here we go tonight. Sixers hosting the Raptors. We see the 76ers favored here, 8.5, total 230.5.
Yeah, the Raptors, I don't think they're that complicated of a team to figure out. At home is typically where they play their best basketball. It's typically where they get most of their wins. That's where they've been historically. On the road is where we see them struggle. Philadelphia, one of the best ATS teams right now currently in basketball. I think they just keep it rolling at home. I'm not overcomplicating this when I'm laying the points with the Sixers. 19-8 this season are they ATS. They've covered in 70% of their games overall. And at home, hey, they're money as well as they're 11-4 against the number at the crib. And I really don't have a problem at these huge numbers laying the points. I don't trust the Raptors on the road. I don't think their defense is going to be enough here to stop Joel Embiid, who is putting up MVP numbers again. What is he having, like 35, 12, and 6, I think is what he's averaging. Yeah, he's having a career year. Minus Harden. The Sixers playing well. I think they continue to play well. Fading the Raptors on the road.
All right, Jay said just go ahead and fade those Raptors here on the road here. He's going to go ahead and take the play here on the Sixers here in this one here, laying the 8.5 here against the Raptors. Yeah, the Raptors, a team that we thought in the beginning they were just going to rely on defense, but they started to move it up tempo, and then, of course, the defense just kind of went by the wayside. They haven't been a really, really good defensive team of late here. They give up about over their past, 5 games, give 121 points per 100 possessions. And, of course, so you kind of look at this bench. They lost Van Fleet. They could be losing, on an OG and an OB. They could be losing Pascal Siakam. 11-16. We're getting to that point here where they may even think about moving some of these guys because I believe Siakam on a free agent. OG has I believe it's a team option or player option next year.
Yeah, this is a team I think is going to probably blow up at the trade deadline in some capacity. They don't have an identity, the Raptors. It's just a bunch of guys up there, Yeah, it's hard for me, They're, like you said, you hit the nail on the coffin. Earlier it was defense, then they kind of start trying to play fake offense with this up-tempo, and the defense went by the wayside right now. I don't know what their identity is. And on the road in Philadelphia is not a place to be trying to figure things out.
OG has a $20 million player option next year. He can walk away from the team next year. What's your thoughts on that situation here with OG? Should he just take the sign opt-in for the year next year, or should he just explore free agency?
He should probably, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not too high on him. You know what I mean? He could be a solid piece on a good team, but it depends on what he wants. If he's money hungry, it may be to just stay in the nice situation up there in Toronto. But if he wants to win, then he might need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's an interesting point there to see how this all plays out. Maxey Embiid in the lineup here. We know here for Philadelphia. Harris in there. Melton, a game time decision. Bamba, I don't know. He's just at the end of the bench there. Batum, again, not someone that, again, off here in this one. But Jay here on the Sixers here, laying the 8.5 here against the Raptors tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Document for nice action. Of course, we do have NBA on the board. College football game here beginning in just minutes away. Also, action from College Hoops What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
3 plays tonight for me, all 3 in the NBA. You can scoop them up in my money-making 3-pack, or you can scoop up my NBA play of the day, or you can hop on something long-term. It's a money-making Friday, heading into a money-making weekend. You can hop on a 3-day pass and get every single play that I release for the duration of the weekend, or you can hop on something a little longer and get me through the end of the year. And let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. It's kind of been a rough week for me. Looking to turn it around, like I said, heading into the new year. Hey, like Mitch always say, buy low. Hey, I got a huge heater coming up soon. I feel it. May start tonight. If you believe me, scoop some up, man. Let's make some money tonight in the NBA.
There you go. Get up over Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results in the NBA. Also, last 38 showing profit here. 523 units of profit. All sports combined. So better time than now to get on board with Jay on a long-term pass. If you want to try them out, you guys like that 3-day pass here on a Friday. How can you blame them with the 3-day pass now? Because we got bowl games coming in here. We also have NFL action here for Saturday's action. Sunday, of course, we'll have the full NFL card up there for you. So lots of action right now. When you get that 3-day pass, use a promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Multi-capper promotions available as well. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great Christmas. I'll catch up with you again next week. But, of course, there's a lot going on over at Pick Dog. Of course, we have you here. You do your NBA and your NFL rundown. Of course, we got NFL here on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Of course, a lot of halftime shows with you and Mitch.
Yeah, a lot of work coming up over the holiday weekend, but we love it, man. We love it. Probably drop something tonight covering the 2 games tomorrow. We got 2 games tomorrow, right?
2 tomorrow, yep.
Yeah, 2 tomorrow. So
2, 10, and 3. 2, 10, and 3. 2,
yeah,
10, and 3.
So I'll probably drop each day covering it. So I'll probably, drop tonight, drop. Y'all get it.
Y'all get it. He'll drop 10 to 9, 10 Saturday for Sunday, and he'll drop the 3 for Christmas Day.
There you go. And then we got NBA as well. So fun weekend coming up. Money-making weekend coming up.
Very money-make weekend. A very important week in the NFL down the last 3 weeks of the regular season, guys. So good time to get on board with Jay Briggs. And, of course, check out these videos. Super jam-packed here. We've seen the Eagles. The Eagles fly. They're getting their wings clipped. Yeah,
I need one more loss out of them. I need somebody else to clip them one more time.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on these Rams? They found a running game, and again, if their starters can remain healthy, they seem they can hang against some of the teams. We saw them play a really good offensive game against the Ravens. I'm not a big Matthew Stafford fan on the road, but against that Ravens defense, they showed me something. I should have I was on the dog because I had a little more faith on the Saints defense. Didn't happen here. Derek Carr had struggles there on extending drives, but your kind of thoughts on the Rams, what you've seen of late?
Super Bowl winning head coach, Super Bowl winning quarterback, kind of mask a lot of bad problems. Sean McVay, we've always thought he was one of the good head coaches in the NFL, and he's showing it now because when we look at the Rams, we don't necessarily say they're one of the most talented teams out there. They got a lot of holes. They got a lot of guys we don't necessarily know on a first-name basis. But, again, you got a quarterback that's been there, done that, a veteran like Stafford who's won them a Super Bowl. We're kind of starting to see those guys, look good. Even Flacco playing well, got a Super Bowl under his belt right now. So I'm not really that surprised. I think they're a scary team. Whoever gets them in the playoffs, they're not going to be overly thrilled, but I think they're probably a first-round playoff exit if they get in.
All right, that's from Jay Briggs. Some people are tagging them against possibly going in against Detroit. Of course, Cowboys have had bad luck against them recently. You go back early 70s, the Cowboys used to spank the Rams. The Rams of late have been a thorn on the side of the Cowboys.
Yes, but I will say, I'm a Cowboys fan that hasn't seen much. One thing I have seen was a playoff win. And one of those playoffs wins was against the Detroit Lions.
That's right. That's one. So we'll see how this all rolls. All right, Jay, have yourself a great night. Yeah, there was one. So yeah, he hasn't seen a whole lot of Cowboy success here. It's kind of crazy to think when you think of all the great teams in the '90s with Aikman, but Jay wasn't born then, so he never saw that.
Never saw none of that, man. So we need some new mojo.
That's right. Need some news. See if they can roll out. See what they do. Get some help there from teams. Philadelphia going the opposite direction. All right, Jay. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
Tommy T, appreciate you, my man. See you later.
See you later. Jay Briggs here on the drive through. Also catch him on the weekend shows. Busy weekend here with Jay on the Pick Dogs channel. Let's continue on here on the show. We'll welcome in Jovan Burts. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Stream. Of course, we'll get some college hoops coverage on one of the marquee games on the lineup tonight. Jovan, what's happening? Got mute there, Jovan. There you go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Can hear you now. All right, here we go. ESPN2 has this one, Maryland at UCLA, true road game here for Maryland here. In this one, no tournament or anything like that in Poly. We're seeing here UCLA favored 4, total 120.5.
Yeah, I'm on the future Big Ten conference team and UCLA in this one. This is the team, they've had some struggles this year. They lost basically, the majority of the team from, last year and the last couple, few years because they had a veteran team, Final Four team. But, this year they're 5-5, 3-6 against the spread. Loses the 3 straight, including one in their last game to, Cal State Northridge. And, this is the time where they need a win. They need it desperately. And, right as Maryland comes along, at home, you would say that in the usual circumstance that, flying from west to east, it's a bad spot for UCLA, but not against this Maryland team. Maryland, they are 7-4, and they've won 6 out of their last 7. But all of those games except for one, the one they lost was against trash competition as far as I'm concerned. And the one time they did play someone up to snuff, it was when they lost by 12. Now, this is a bad defensive team, bad offensive team. And the one thing that UCLA can't hang on, they play hellified defense. So, that's going to be the separation for me. They're going to get enough stops, and they're going to win this game, and they're going to win by margin. So, give me UCLA Bruins.
All right, we got Jovan here on the Bruins here, laying the 3.5 in most places. 4 is the sharpest book in the world, by the way. So we're still seeing some Vegas shops 3.5. So the sharp money is definitely with the Jovan here because we see that 4 there. But 3.5 is kind of the widely available number right now in this one. There's some probably folks looking at this UCLA team. Again, it is a travel spot for Maryland, a true road game. And of course, this is the a game before the start of conference play here for UCLA. Next weekend, they face the Oregon schools on the road, and it'll be tougher. Of course, UCLA going with a lot of youth, as you said, a lot of personnel changes. 322nd D1 experience because they went overseas to bring in some players. I thought that was, we see it work in the NBA, but in college, these kids are really young hanging around LA.
Yeah, when you're dealing with these overseas players, if they're not coming straight into the league, they're just a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? Like if they're going into the NBA at this point, and haven't made their way to the pros, overseas, and like a Luka Doncic or somebody like that, then I really can't say much for them. They're just regular players as far as I'm concerned. But I think they'll be fine. Going into January into February, but they're still, say, feeling each other out as a team. There's the talent's there. I caught some eyes on them, in a couple games. So the talent's definitely there. It's just got to mesh. You got to have the cohesiveness. And I don't think they have that, but I think it starts in this one. So, on the offensive side of the ball, really more than the defensive side because they are playing, good defense.
Yeah, they are playing code defense. Matter of fact, that I've heard people say this. Mick Cronin, this has a look of one of his old Cincinnati teams that defend but can't shoot a lick.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just one of those things where the offense has to catch up with the defense, and once that happens, and it doesn't even have to catch up much. Just enough to where if if an opponent gets a run on them, then they gotta combat that with some offense, and that's their problem.
Yeah, in the Maui tournament, they were competitive. Just a 2-point loss to Marquette, a 4-point loss to Gonzaga. That's nothing to that's nothing to be shameful about. Although,
and they're not scared of the competition. So they still schedule. They scheduled tough teams non-conference. So that's not going to be a problem. It's only going to make them better.
No doubt about that. Jovan here on UCLA laying the 3.5 here against Maryland. True road game here for Maryland. Home court here for UCLA, 9 p.m. Eastern Time over on ESPN2. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, NBA on the board and with that 6-game card. Also, we have college hoops, the NFL bowl game beginning in just minutes as well. And what do you have going over at the site? We see the great results Jovan's put up in the NBA, 1,084 units of profit, all documented. Verify those numbers by going to Jovan's handicapper page on the site. What do you have going over at Pick Docs Premium?
Yeah, so a rare night for me. I got a 5-pack going in on a Friday. I usually don't do that. Barely ever. You know what I mean? So, got 2 NBA plays in that 5-pack, college basketball plays. Already knocked off 2 games in the college basketball slate, 2-0, including George Mason on the money line. So that was a nice little hit. Then I had UAB, which should have been a money line play, but I just took them on the spread. So right now, 2-0. Going into the night games, got 6 in total. Got the college football play for longer term subscribers, longer term clients. And, ready to go. Once we get into the conference schedule with college basketball, it's like I always tell Tony, watch out. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hot in college basketball, Now's the time to jump on something long term, man. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. The NBA, it is what it is. I usually start off slow in the NBA, and I have a better second half of the season. So this year, I've been coming out hard in the NBA. NFL, you already know what that's about. I'm on the plus side in there still, looking for another big weekend. So, hey, it's all here in Sports Chat Place of Pick Dogs. Man, ask me one of the other handicaps for the 2-for-1 capital emotional. You can't go wrong here in Sports Chat Place of Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Yeah, indeed. Get to those long-term passes with Jovan. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Jovan really doing great work here in the NBA. All sports combined. Last 7 days been on fire. Comp a monster last day yesterday. 455 units of profit yesterday. Jovan has seen it. Now's the time to get on board with Jovan with those long-term passes. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you show. To that success, we'll catch up with you again next week. But, of course, we see a lot of you on the weekend shows as well. Big weekend shows coming up. We got NFL Saturday, Sunday. Lots of hoops in there as well.
Absolutely, and per usual, I'll be there tomorrow morning and Sunday morning giving out free plays. Can't wait. Then I'll be here no, I don't. We're not having next Monday, so you'll see me back on here next Friday.
Next Friday on the drive. Be off on Christmas Day, so we'll be back Jovan here on Friday. But you catch him on the weekend shows for those picks. All right, as you know, he's really wired in. It's this time of the year when he gets into those college hoops, man. He's got action. You'll see action noon, 3 o'clock picks, 6 o'clock. He's got the whole. You usually have like 4 sets of plays right within those time frames when we have those when we get in the conference play for college hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I play volume in college basketball. I have a lot of volume, and it's really a feeling out. With these teams, because there's so many teams, but there's a lot of value out there, so that's why I do it. And once we get into the conference portion of the college basketball, that that's what I'm this last year, same thing happened. Ended up number 2 in college basketball on the website, and I'm looking for another season in that too. So coupled with the NBA, college basketball is gonna go the same way. I'm gonna be on the plus side on it. Sure.
Absolutely, guys. So get on board with those long-term passes. All right, John, have a great Christmas. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. And see you on Friday, next Friday.
That's right. We'll see you on next Friday. Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Guys, again, if you ever miss a pick, we always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, let's bring in Brian Bitler. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Brian will be ready to roll here with action tonight from the association. So we'll get him here in just a second. I think we'll set to roll. I might have went too far here on my board here. So let me bring the board back here and find Brian Bitler here on a Friday. Let's see here. Ready to go with Brian. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, always great to be with you on a square dancing Friday night. Like Jovan said, we might be off from the drive-thru on Monday, but we still got action on Monday with NFL football, I believe, throughout the day. So, there will be something for us to bet on Monday.
There will be. Yeah, there will be stuff to bet on Monday. The triple header from the NFL, and of course the NBA plays on Christmas Day, so there will be action to bet on. Mitch will have a morning show that day. Also, Mitch will have his halftime shows for that Christmas Day triple header of action. And don't forget that Monday night game's a monster there with Ravens and 49ers. There, that's probably one of the best games of the year. I mean,
Super Bowl preview, yeah.
There you go, Super Bowl preview on Christmas night. That is some scheduling there. I know NFL takes a hit on their schedule, but they got that one right, huh?
For sure. I'll be having a nice glass of wine, sitting back watching that game for sure.
We'll see what side Brian's on this. That's going to be an interesting one to see, but. Tonight, we go to the NBA TV tonight here. ESPN has a lot of college hoops up there, as you would expect here with these holiday tournaments going on. Nets and Nuggets going head-to-head here. We see the Nuggets favored on the road, 4.5, total 230.
Yeah, I believe this could be the best matchup here on Friday night in the NBA as the Denver Nuggets traveling to take on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to roll here with the Brooklyn Nets at home plus the points. I know Denver has gotten a rare road cover last time out. But over the long haul, last 2 years or so, they haven't been the same on the road ATS as they are at home. And Nets need the win, I believe, in the baddest way. Coming into this one, 4 straight losses here. That's still 10-3-1 against the number at home. Denver beat this team like a drum, 124-101 just last month and embarrassed them. So you got a revenge shot on the home court here for the Nets. Bettors should be flocking here to the Denver Nuggets. Which is nothing new. You know, bettors love, the better teams, the flashy teams. But this Nets kind of blue collar team. They have 4 straight non-covers in a row, and I think that's given us a little bit of cushion here. I'm going to play on the Brooklyn Nets plus the points at home. I believe it's at 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Let's still take a look at the market here right now as we speak here. That's about an hour ago when we create the graphics for the site. The odds are automated. Obviously, the pick is when we put the pick in. 4.5 here is the number as we take a look here at the market here. Of course, the Nets really coming off that long road trip. Of course, when we say coming off a long road trip, technically they were back home on the 19th. Because they hosted the New York Knicks there, so they did take that loss first game off a road trip. But some of those really bad numbers have come on the road here. But again, they had that game against the Knicks here where they really struggled shooting the basketball. But it's been really what's gone south here has been the defense. And a player I mentioned earlier when he went out, is Lonnie Walker, who's someone who usually contributes a lot off the bench. You'll see a lot of times. I look at box scores every day, and he would come in with 20 points a day, 20 points a game off the bench, really helping this Nets team. But he's been out for a while. I don't know if they're feeling his presence in the scoring-wise, but then the defense is what's really gone south here on the Nets.
Yeah, Lonnie Walker, he's a local guy to where I live. He graduated from high school right near me. But yeah, I think Ben Simmons is hurting it, not having his defensive presence. I know people joke around because I called him next Magic Johnson. He really didn't pan out that way. But I think he brings as much of a cupcake as a real soft player that he is. He does play hard defense. I think that's what the Nets are missing there.
Yeah, more of that facilitator there. I know Brian's more the contrarian. When the world's against you, he'll be on your side.
Yeah, well, I just got on Ben Simmons because I know Mitch didn't like him, but I lost that battle. Mitch Simmons is terrible. So
yeah,
Ben Simmons is terrible.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Brian's here going to be on the Nets here. He's going to take the plus 4.5 tonight. This one will have a start time here, 7:30 Eastern time on NBA TV, as we had mentioned earlier. All right. Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a NBA board 6-game card, lots of college hoops going on, a lot of holiday tournaments happening here. We also have action on the ice as well. Brian, showing great results here in college too. And Brian's off to a monster college basketball start today. He's been doing great work there. You verify the numbers over at Pick Docs, showing great profit there as well as in NHL. Over the last 30 days, showing all sports profit 841. Yes, the last 7 days, 500 units. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I've already got one win in the books as we got the win with Milwaukee here. That was my 11th straight premium college basketball winner. But I got the Gasparilla Bowl tonight. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But that's my titanium winner in college football. You get that for just $25 at pickdogs.com. 18-6 over my last 24 titanium plays. That's a 75% hit rate. And make sure you're on board for my NFL tomorrow. I'm on a 13-5 NFL winning streak. So definitely a big weekend ready for me at pickdogs.com. Just pair me up with one of the all-star cappers. Definitely should be a lot of fun this weekend.
That's right, guys. Get over with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs. See the great results in college hoops. Last 30 days, 841 units of profit. All sports combined. Titanium wager up there from Brian right now. College hoops, college football, I should say. So good time to get on board. Birmingham Bowl early Saturday action up there. So he's already seen early action from Brian up on the board. But you guys love that 3-day pass on the Fridays, right? A lot of action Friday, Saturday, Sunday from NFL. From the bowl, 7 bowl games here on Saturday. We got college hoops. NBA, great time to get on board. Remember the promo code. We got a 13-game card from the NBA tomorrow, as well as hockey up on the board. Guys, get on board. Pick as a promo code. Save that 15% off. You can also add multi-capper on the multi-capper promotion, saving you even more money. All right, Brian, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success as we close out 2023. We'll talk with you again next Friday. But I want to let everybody know that you also contribute now with your video series over at Pick Dogs.
Yeah, make sure everybody tunes into my Pick Dogs YouTube channel every day for my sharp betting, contrarian predictions. Also, I'll be there this weekend hanging out with all my buddies over at pickdogs.com. Hopefully we can argue about some games and have a little bit of fun and win some money as well.
Yeah, so Brian did there on the contrarian picks. Make sure you check it out there. Kind of market reads, and kind of you like to look at the money. You like to go against that public money, right?
Yeah, one of the teams that I forgot to put in that, I kind of do like the Toronto Raptors tonight against my Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers has just been just a cover machine at home. And Toronto Raptors, though, they've burned me a couple times in the past, so I got a little tread lightly on that one. Raptors, you got to hold your nose and bet the Raptors.
Market readers take a lot of abuse from a lot of people, right? Because they think that's all they do is read the market. But I know some market readers out there, and I've seen some of their results, and they win a lot. They win a lot, I like everybody else. I'm more of a deep dive guy, so I'm always going to be got to research. But from my experience, just looking at folks who read the line, they usually have pretty good success at it.
For sure. Definitely have some of those guys at pickdogs.com. But as far as last night goes, that was one of my losses with the New Orleans Saints. I was watching that game, saw it dip to 3.5 at a certain point during yesterday, then went back up to 4.5. But as we saw, the Saints just couldn't get it done yesterday against the Rams, and that was a market watch that didn't come in for me for sure.
Yeah, so you can see the Brian's results there have been fantastic over the years. I mean, he's been around and you've seen his face for years over on these handicapping sites doing great work. All right, Brian, you have a great Christmas, and we'll catch up with you again on the drive-thru next week. But again, we'll be looking for your video series and, of course, your contributions on the weekends.
Definitely looking forward to tomorrow, and maybe we can get in some heated arguments and have some fun and win some money as well. And have a nice Christmas, and I'll catch you on Friday.
Catch you on Friday. Brian Bitler here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. You ever miss a pick? We always recap at the end of the show. Shout out to the folks in the chat: Steph, John Stewart, a Panger in there is left, Erica in there. Shout out to Erica. Fresh cut for Jay, liking the cut from Jay there. Peter Coppola in there as well. Blake, shout out to you as well. Lauren, shout out there. Appreciate your contribution and appreciate your compliment there. Angel there in there as well. Ronnie the best. Angel Lucero in there as well. Jojo and Jamal Williams has been in the chat as well. Let's continue on here on the drive. So I think we do have James ready to roll here. We'll get his game set up when we bring him on. So let's bring him in right now. James Clark, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's see if we could bring James in right now. I think we'll be set to roll here with James Clark here in just a second. He's ready to roll. James, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How you tonight, buddy?
Doing great. Yeah, I got your late message there. You were going money line, but you switched over to the plus side on this game. So we'll go ahead. This isn't the game you're covering, but I'll switch the graphic here in just a second. Here is we got the coverage there from Brian on this Nets and Nuggets. But we'll go ahead and bring in your graphic here in just a second here, as we're going to be looking at a late night game coming on tonight here, and that's going to be out west here, as we've got the Suns and Kings going head to head here. With the Suns, the Kings favored now 3.5. We see the total 244.5.
Yeah, guys, you look at these two teams, and they've been going in opposite directions. Kings coming off a bad loss, and the Suns, they're finally starting to get healthy. If they can ever get Bill back on the court, to play. But Booker and KD, they've been doing their thing, putting up 30 points together. KD's been shooting amazing. Booker's been doing his thing. But in this game, guys, I really think it's going to be a really close game. I like the Suns here. I got it at +4. I seen it now it's +3.5. Shop around and get your best line. There are still some 4s out there. I've seen it. But I think it's going to be a close game from the beginning to the end. I think whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. Fox had a monster game. I think he's averaging 31 points in his last 10 or 12 games. He's been playing red hot as the MVP. KD's been playing red hot. But I like the Suns. With the points. This probably should have been even. +1 or even, I think, with these two teams, especially the way they've been playing. Both been playing pretty good basketball, even though the Kings are coming off a thumping. But I really like the Suns plus the points here, guys.
All right, James says Suns plus the points, plus the 3.5, plus the 4 against the Kings. Do your line chopping, get the best numbers. One thing about this Suns team is that you are getting a pretty good defensive effort from them on the road. 3rd in road defensive efficiency this year for the Suns, allowing 110 points per 100 possessions. They just got to get their scoring up, but they are defending. One thing about the Kings, I've been very critical of the Kings based on their defensive play at home. If you watch that Boston game against the Sacramento Kings, you can see the difference in the defensive coaching between Boston and Sacramento and how much attention to defense that Boston had and that lack of it Sacramento had.
Yeah, that's it. And the way they change, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fox come out and had 26 points at the first half and only had 3 the second half. So, they went in at halftime and was like, we're going to shut him down. We're going to make the other players beat him. And then it was a whole different second half against the Celtics. That's why the Celtics beat them by 14, 15, whatever it was. But it was because they shut Fox down. And, Celtics defense stepped up. Like I said, Fox had 3 points second half. And if Fox ain't going and driving to the lane and getting in, you got Sabonis. Sabonis does his thing, double-double, every night. But they need that other constant scorer. Murray, he's in and out. Sometimes he's hitting, sometimes he's not. They just need that other scorer to step up for the Kings. And I really don't know who it is going to be right now. Because you know what you're going to get from Fox, and you know what you get from Sabonis. But to beat teams like the Suns, the Celtics, these better teams, you need that one more scorer to step up and have a good game.
Yeah, you certainly do. And I think interesting watching that game. I've never seen Porzingis play as this defense. It's amazing how you can go into a structured environment and you can see the difference,
Yes, they preached, Celtics preach defense. That's one reason why they got Holiday, in there for a defense. For point. Holiday is an awesome defender on the point, and then Tatum's a good defender. Brown, and now Porzingis turned into a good defender. So the Celtics are a very tough team. That's why they got the records they got. But the Kings hung with them the first half. But like I said, they came out the second half, and the Celtics have a plan to make everybody else beat us besides Fox, and they end up taking over the game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Of course, James, I couldn't let you go before we get your word here on this bowl game because we won't no shows Monday. But the 27th, West Virginia's in action in their bowl game against North Carolina. We know North Carolina's quarterback's heading to the draft. West Virginia's favorite, though, 6.5, total sits 54.
I like the over in this game. I think WVU wins, but I think it's going to be a close game. But I think both teams goes up and down the field and scores on each other. I think, Green's been red hot, passing, running. The running back, hard to stop. I think it's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. I like the over, and I think West Virginia does win, but I don't think they win by a touchdown. I see them a field goal or 4 or 5 points. I see it right under a touchdown.
He's right. James is right under a touchdown there. Your take, Carol. We know you saw Cincinnati in person last week. You were there taking in that game. And you might have got a push in that one, but you really had a good sweat. You had a good sweat there in that stadium last week as they fell behind. So what will Cincinnati look like without Chase in the lineup, of course, facing a desperate Steelers team?
I think they'll look good. I do. I think that Chase Brown. I know Jamar Chase is out, but I'm Brown. I'm telling you, Brown is the key to Cincinnati's offense. He ran. I mean, they threw it to him. He's taking a lot of Mixon's run. He got hurt the first half, but I think if they flank him out, if they play him and Mixon at the same time and use him as a decoy passer, I'm telling you, the kid is so fast, they're going to be hard to stop. I really think Cincinnati. I think they win out, and I think they make the playoffs. I'm not a big Cincinnati fan. I'm an Eagles fan, but watching them play last night. Not last night. Watching them play last Saturday, they do got a decent team. When Chase got hurt there, Higgins stepped up real big with 2 big touchdowns. And Mixon does his thing at the end. But I think that backup running back, Chase Brown, is going to be the key. He is so fast. I swear if they could start them together and flank him out as a slot, as a running back, and put him in the slot. He's so fast and he can catch so good. I mean, he's a really good asset to Cincinnati, and the only reason he didn't play that much the second half is because he got a shoulder injury in the first half. I mean, he was tearing it up. I think he had 5 or 6 catches for 40 or 50 yards, and they had his yardage. I mean, I tell you what, guys, if you live in Cincinnati and if you go to Bet360, I'm telling you, I hit a big parlay on. They got Brown's yardage at 9.5 and 11 for his receiving yards. He gets that on one catch, guys. So I mean, if you're in Ohio and got Bet360, look up Chase Brown's yardage, and it's 11 hammer. Put whatever you want to on it because he'll get it within one catch. But I really love that. FanDuel and DraftKings, they don't even have him on the board. So, what that should tell you something right there. They don't even have his yardage on the board. But you go to Ohio and Bet360, they had him on the board. But I really think Cincinnati wins out. I think they beat Pittsburgh. I think they end up making the playoffs.
Of course, you saw the Vikings against the Bengals. The Vikings are going to host the Lions here in a game. We see it in a big game. Lions favored 3 on the road here in this one on Sunday.
I tell you what, the Vikings, Chandler coming in, man. He had a big game against Cincinnati. He ran all over Cincinnati, and that's something that the Lions can't stop is the running game. And I'm telling you, if the Lions if the Minnesota runs the ball like they did against Cincinnati, and then excuse me, and the receivers get open like they did. Addison had a big game. Jefferson, what he does. I think Minnesota gives the Lions the fit. I like the points here with Minnesota, guys. I just think Minnesota, if they got a good running game, it opens up everything for Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, all their weapons that they have. And I really think Mullins done an awesome job. His first start had over 300 yards, a few touchdowns. This is going to be a really tough game, and I really like the points with the Vikings here. They showed me that, like I said, with the running game, that that it helped them out tremendously.
There we go, James. They're here looking at that. If I can see him, yeah. Gibbs is someone who ran the ball well in that game here against the Broncos. There, it was against the Broncos that Saturday night game, right? As Detroit beats Denver. Your thoughts here on Vikings trying to stop Gibbs in that run game?
That's going to be a problem for them. They couldn't stop Chase out of the backfield. Gibbs catches a lot of balls out of the backfield, and then you got Montgomery, the big guy, going to run it in when it's close. So that's the big thing. They're going to have to hold down Gibbs on catching the ball out of the backfield, and then they're going to try to stop Montgomery running the ball through them. They had a tough time with Chase, and they had with Brown and Mixon last week. So if they can stop the run, I think they might come out the victory, but I think Detroit does their thing. I think they keep going. I think Detroit wins this game, but I like the points with the Vikings. I think that it's going to be a tough nail biter. It always is with the Vikings and Lions game, and I think it keeps going. I just think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a field goal game.
There you go from James here on that one. Also, get your thoughts here on that big Christmas game night, that game on Christmas night. Everyone's excited for it. Ravens and 49ers. We're seeing now the Ravens sitting at 5.5, and I'm sorry, the 49ers at home here sitting at 5.5 point favorite. Total sits 47.
I like the Baltimore here. Everybody's on the 49ers, which give 49ers is a good team, got a good defense, got a bunch of weapons. But I'm telling you, it's a Baltimore team, guys. The 49ers have not played a defense like they're getting ready to play on Christmas night, and offense. I'm telling you, you got to control Lamar Jackson. If you don't hold him in the pocket, he's going to run all over you. And you know what the 49ers do. Blitz, blitz, blitz. And when they do, I'm telling you, if Lamar can get out a few of them and hit Odell Beckham or hit Flowers, or likely, their big backup tight end that's played really good, I really think it's going to be a close, tough game. But I think at the end, I like the Baltimore. I take Baltimore in the points here, guys, because I think everybody and their mom's going to be on the 49ers.
Yeah, one of the biggest books offshore has moved it now to 6. 49ers 6. There's 5.5s everywhere else, but we're seeing a movement here at where the line used to originate offshore. A big book here that pays everybody. They moved it now to -6, so movement there. Of course, when you follow the Eagles, they're big favorites against the Giants, laying 13.5 from an opener of 9.5.
No, I'm a big Eagles fan, but take the Giants with the 13.5, guys. The Eagles will win this game to keep going. But I swear the Giants always play us tough. They play us tough every year. Last year they had, we was red hot. They had a backup quarterback come in. I think we was 10 or 11, 12 point favorites, and I think we won by a touchdown. So I think it's what we win again. I think we win by a touchdown, 10 points at the most. Take the Giants here. The Eagles are struggling, man. If they don't get back to running the ball, pounding the ball like they can, what's Hurts doing? He killed me Monday night. What is he doing throwing at 40 yards when we got a kicker that can kick from 65, 62? Get us 6, 7 more yards, and let's try to kick a field goal with a kicker that's done it before. He done it in Buffalo in the rain from 60 yards. We was right there at the 50. Get us 10 yards. Don't try to go for a Hail Mary. But anyways, he makes me mad. But I think the Eagles win, but I like the Giants in the points. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair too. Also, I think both teams scored a lot. I think the Giants hang right there with us, and we end up winning it by a touchdown.
All right, there you go. Some bonus coverage here with James here. Some NFL, of course, they want that bowl pick there with West Virginia and North Carolina coming up next week. All right, James on the show, Suns plus the 4 against the Kings tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight's action. Of course, we got NBA on the board. Lots of college hoops heading to a huge weekend. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Guys, I got a 3-pack in the NBA. I've been hot here lately in the NBA. Wednesday night 4-0. Last night off of a winning day. Thursday a winning day, and looking to do it again tonight, guys. We're gonna go for a 3-0 sweep. So after we go to 3-0, upgrade to a 3-7 or 30 days. Or like I say every time I'm on the show, guys, we're at the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any cappers that's on the side or on the show, and we'll put some money in your pockets.
That's right, guys. Get on board with James Clark over at Pick Dog Premium. Put some money in your pocket. Indeed, with James, use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You guys like those long-term passes. Even on the weekend, you guys like that 3-day pass. Lots of action. NFL, member NFL, Saturday, Sunday, and we have that big triple header coming up for you here on Christmas Day with that highlight of the night, Ravens, 49ers. Great time to get on board with James. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15%. All right, James, as always, great having you show. Have a great Christmas. We're off on Monday with Christmas Day, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony. Appreciate you having me on the show. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody's warm and safe. Have a good meal. Have a good Christmas. And I'll see y'all next Friday.
See See you next Friday. James Talk here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on, guys. You ever miss a pick? We always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. We'll get to my pick, and then we will go into the recap as we will continue on here. We've got Underdog here from the NBA for you on one of the late night games on the card. ESPN is featuring a game in the late night tonight. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and get the game up for you right now. Warriors and Wizards going head-to-head in this one. And we're going to take the points here on the show. Wizards plus 11.5. By the way, if you like the money line, I would tell you sprinkle that as well. I think the Wizards are a live one here tonight against the. I know it's a back-to-back spot, but for the most part, the Wizards. Let me double check this. Right, the Wizards starting five are pretty much are healthy, all back together again. Jones, Poole, Avdija, Kuzma, Gafford. These guys are pretty much together. Issues here with the Warriors. We know Green and Payton are out. Wiggins questionable. Podziemski questionable. And the Warriors don't have a whole lot of depth on their team. And you have four guys out who see time. That's going to really tax this roster here. And also, too, the issue here with the Warriors, they're not a very good shooting team at home. What is it? Less than 44% shooting at home. We've seen the Wizards have a as far as the cover spread, they've been covering spreads, and a lot of it is because they got their guys back healthy in the lineup. You know, some of these bad teams, when you get the guys back together and you're getting big points, they can come through for you. We take a look at the last five. Wizards are shooting 50%, put up 123 points a game. That's because they've got their guys back, right? So the starting lineup pretty much intact. Golden State's have that issue with home shooting. So we'll go ahead and for the show take the points. But again, the money lines to me seems a good value here with the Wizards. In fact, they're on a good point spread run. And again, the Warriors have just been flat. We saw them recently against Portland just squeeze out a victory there, right? And we saw what the Wizards did to Portland last night. I'm not worried about the back-to-back spot. These guys, I think they should be fine. But we're looking at that game, they look too taxed up. But boy, the Warriors are really, with Podziemski and Wiggins miss, Green, Payton, not a lot of depth, and you're missing these many players. I got to go with the Wizards feeling good about themselves. They got some of that positive mo as well. And matter of fact, our man Ron Crawford coming. Wizards 11-6 as road dogs this season. That is right. A lot of folks here chiming in, looking like that one as well. All right, Wizards plus 11.5 here against the Warriors. Late night action tonight, 10 Eastern. This is the one that's on ESPN. All right, guys, check out Pick.Stream. Got a 3-pack up on the board. NBA as well. Long-term pass will serve you well. My 3-7 or 30 L Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Let's get to the recap. All right, we'll start with Jay. Jay liked the 76ers here, laying the 8.5 against the Raptors. Jovan here was on UCLA, laying 3.5 against Maryland. We had on the Nets plus 4.5 in their game. James was on the Suns plus 4 against the Kings. I'll be on the Wizards plus 11.5 against the Warriors. The one I like the most, I like James's pick here on the Suns. I've been very critical about the Kings' defensive play at home. As a matter of fact, I don't think I mentioned this, and I forget to mention this in the segment here about the Kings. The Pacific Division has been tough on Sacramento. When Sacramento plays divisional opponents this year, the Kings sit 19th in offensive efficiency, averaging just 111 points per 100 possessions. So they have been really struggling offensively against the Pacific Division, and they've played quite a few games this year against the division. Division opponents have been able to slow down this Kings offense, and they've gone under also in 5 of the past 8 against the Pacific because, again, they played 8 games against Pacific Division this year. We got 8 games, and they're only averaging 111 points per 100 possessions, 19th in offensive efficiency. So the Pacific Division is able to defend this Sacramento Kings team. All right, that's going to do it here for the Drive Thru, guys. Make sure you guys tune in again. I'll be back off Christmas Day. We're back on Tuesday, so tune in Tuesday here on the show. But lots going on over at Pick Dogs, guys. We got the all get started here on the weekend show, right? We're early here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We got Jay, we got Chris, we got Mitch. Of course, we have the roundtable discussions. A lot of the cappers you see here from the Drive Thru will make appearances on the weekend show, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool shows his roundtable discussions with the professionals. Also, Jay's NBA Jam session, NFL as well. The halftime shows from the NFL, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's right, we got the cards for those days here in the NFL. Also, Ron Romanelli, his rundown from college football and college basketball for you here on the channel. We've got the contrarian himself, Brian Bitler's video series as well. Rod Zawacki's NHL video series, A to Z, every game on the board plus a parlay. Of course, Chris with his wraparound from the NHL. Nick Menken, first half plays from the NBA. We've got also Mills with the UFC rundown. Of course, UFC rundown as well. I should say MMA rundown as well as his prop shop. Of course, UFC, we'll see them. They're through with their December card. We'll see them next in January because they're on Christmas break. Also, too, many more. Big Al McMorty with his All Access. McCosty with his sharp trading plays. Of course, we also have Dana Lane with his Against the Public betting video series as well. Lots of video series, guys. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Our man in the chat, Ron Crawford, says, take Illinois tonight. That's from Ron Crawford in the chat tonight. Appreciate that as well. Everybody here. Darren Turner likes the Red Wings NHL hockey. And our man Sinwan Whitehead, he likes over 147.5, Rice and Louisiana Lafayette. And a shout out to Marshall McCarty in there. Jay Dean in there as well. Our man coming in. I think that's in Chinese, but I don't speak that language. But anyway, we did give you the pick already on the game with the Wizards plus the points. I gave you guys some shout outs earlier in the show. So thanks everyone for joining us here on the drive through. That's going to do it. You guys have a great Christmas. We'll be back here again on Tuesday for the show. All right, let's go.